Hey, it's Bree. This is our last video in our Rethinking Spelling series. And today we're going to talk about the key components to effective weekly spelling tests. I remember being a kid and on Monday getting a list of 20 or 25 words that needed to be memorized for a daunting spelling test on Friday. And because I wasn't a naturally good speller, I feel like it was this task that just dominated my week. So these 4 tips that we're going to give you today are going to help your kids be more effective spellers, but also not have the overwhelm of weekly spelling tests. So our first component is that each week your list needs to follow one phonetic pattern. And that pattern needs to be explained to parents because, like us, many parents did not learn phonics the way that their children hopefully are. So in my spelling list every week, I will have a pattern. This week is R-controlled vowels, or the bossy R, with an explanation for parents exactly what that pattern is like. Then I break it down for students where they will have sample spelling words. These are not spelling words that need to be memorized. These are just words that follow the pattern. So for this list, AR says R, and here are 4 words that follow that pattern: card, scarf, yard, and barn. I also include 2-syllable words for 3rd grade and up to make sure that they're getting exposure spelling 2 or 3-syllable words. Again, another weekly spelling list could be AIAY, and it has a detailed explanation for parents what that pattern is, and then it breaks it down for students with sample words. Right here it said here are some sample words and 2-syllable words. However, you should not memorize these words. Practice with sound spelling and tapping the words out. Some of these words will appear on your spelling test on Friday. Other AIAY words will too. So what this does is it takes out the task of memorization. The kids learn the pattern and they're practicing and they get lots of exposure with that pattern, but they're not simply memorizing words. Each spelling list should include some red words, but it should be very obvious to the parents and the students what red words they're working on this week. So once and only are not the phonetic pattern that we're working on for the week, but they're irregular words that just need to be memorized. And kids will have lots of strategies of how to practice those red words. And after kids have had exposure practicing those words in many different ways throughout the week, using sound boxes and hand tapping mats, or using red word screens or skywriting, all of those effective multisensory strategies, finally the big day has arrived and it is the test taking day. And your spelling test should be very obvious to kids what words are green words. So my column, I have a green word column, and what words are red words. And they should know that anything on this column can be tapped out. Some of the words are words that they've seen for the sample words, other words are not. And just be very careful as a teacher to make sure that you're not including any phonetic patterns that this child has not learned yet. That concludes our Rethinking Spelling video series. I hope you've enjoyed and come away with a few tips that you can use in your spelling instruction.